Pessoal, qual o seu sotaque favorito em inglês? Será o sotaque americano do norte, como eu falo? Do sul? Britânico, irlandês, escocês, australiano? Sabe qual é o meu? O sotaque sul-africano. Eu adoro porque eu fui criado numa parte de Boston onde tinha vários imigrantes daquele país. Eu sempre o via na minha infância, sempre achava bonito. Mas na verdade eu nunca aprendi nenhuma gíria sul-africana. Hoje vamos aprender gírias do inglês sul-africano. Estou muito emocionado. É agosto, não acredito que é agosto. E isso significa outro professor. Claro que é uma professora do Cambly. Vocês sabem que Cambly é esse aplicativo, esse site, essa plataforma que tem todos os professores falantes nativos para te ensinar inglês informal, formal, usando os currículos deles, conversando sobre o que você quiser. E sempre tem direito a uma aula de graça se você quer provar o Cambly antes de comprar. E você vai usar o código que está aparecendo aqui. É só baixar o aplicativo ou ir para o site, usar esse código ou usar o link na descrição e nem precisa lembrar do código. Vamos conectar com a Lina agora.
Hi, Seth.
Hi, Leah. Great to see you. Great to talk to you. I'm so excited to meet you.
Me too. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. As you know, I am in New York, and you are in Mexico.
I am on the west coast of Mexico in a paradise of a little town called Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. You know that Hawaii Americans know this town?
Well, it's a holiday hotspot. Many people from the USA and Canada come here to get away from their snowy winters.
Well, it is that, but it is also because it was one of the ports of call of the Love Boat.
My goodness, I think the Love Boat might have been a little bit before my time.
Yes, it was. It was probably in the early 80s, which is before your time. But it's right in the middle of my prime TV watching
Fantastic.
time. But you've heard of the Love Boat.
I have. My parents loved it.
It's a very,
It's
everyone
extremely
from
popular,
my generation
yes.
can sing the song.
Love Boat.
Soon we'll be making another run.
Love boat. Soon we'll be making another run.
And then they always went to the same places. So they always went to Mazatlan, I think was one.
Mazatlan is nearby, yes.
Puerto Vallarta. And anyway, what are we talking about? We need to talk about Cambly and we need to talk about South African English. So just give me you've been teaching Cambly, you're a teacher. Tell me just a tiny bit about that.
Okay, yes. So Cambly has been happening since September last year. So I'm almost at my year mark and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been my first venture into the online teaching field. Before that, I taught for 3.5 years in Vietnam, and mostly to children in a classroom environment. So this online game started quite recently, but I love it. You know, here in Mexico, life is pretty relaxed. I enjoy the fact that my schedule is super flexible.
Pessoal, se você se interessa numa aula com a Lia, vocês sabem o que fazer, né? Link na descrição. Ou procure Cambly, aplicativo ou site, e use a sua aula de graça para marcar com ela. You do not speak only English and I assume Spanish. You grew up also speaking another language, and what was that?
I do indeed. It's called Afrikaans, quite a young language, only been around for, I think about roughly 170 years. But it is spoken by 24 million people in the world, so not to be frowned upon, and mostly spoken in the southern part of Africa. So I grew up in Namibia. I learned to speak it as a child and then learned to speak English from a young age while in school.
Okay, so just to be clear, you grew up in Namibia.
I did. And
But we're good.
my parents still live there, so when I go back, I visit Namibia as well as South Africa.
But what's your relationship with South Africa?
I travel on a South African passport because I lived there for a very long time. So from my high school years, I schooled there. Then I moved to Cape Town. I lived in Cape Town for 13 years. So I'm well versed in what South Africa is. And it kind of feels like a second home. You know, Namibia would be my country of birth. South Africa would be just another place that I spend a long time in.
I love having teachers come on from different countries, but this is the first time I've ever had a South African or Namibian teacher on. So I'm really hoping you're going to teach us some cool phrases from South Africa. Are they going to be South African or are they Namibian?
They are South African, and we do use these phrases in Namibia as well. I need to tell you that you might know or you might not know. South Africa has 11 official languages.
Now let's do the phrases. And you haven't told me any, so I'm going to have to see if I know any of them.
All right, let's start with the first one. Very common, and you need this one. How's it?
How's it? It sounds like a how are you kind of a thing.
Very good. Well done,
How's it?
Seth.
So it's short for how's it going?
Basically, a very short way of hi, how is it going, or hi, how are you, without wasting too much time on too many words.
How's
it? Number 2, Ubuntu.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Well, it's obviously from an African language. I'm going to say it means a white person.
Well, it is actually a much more deeper than that. It is our fundamental value of humanity.
It's basically the opposite of what I said. I thought it might be one of these words like, a white person. Like,
it's kind of like the essence of Africanness. I am because of you.
is that what it means?
Yeah. I am because of you.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Next one is a little bit more casual. Aish.
Obviously, I have no idea what that means. Aish. I don't know. It means okay or something like that?
Close. It's kind of like a common exclamation that we can use to denote a wide range of emotions, from excitement to shock to surprise, like aish. When you're in doubt, use it. If somebody tells you like a fun story, aish. It's kind of like a word that can be used in many ways. Or somebody tells you about like a terrible time they've gone through and you say, oh, aish. You know, you kind of like can express many emotions with this word.
What's next?
Shop or shop shop.
I don't know. Let's just say it's a common kind of barbecue.
Well, this is actually a way of saying something is good. And it's basically like saying the word sharp without the R. Shop shop. We usually do it with a thumbs up. Shop. Shop shop. Next one. Lekker.
Lekker? Lekker?
Lekker. You don't need an R really. It is, the original word is spelled with an R, but when we say it, we just kind of like lekker.
It's definitely an insult.
Really?
Maybe
This
not.
is again a very versatile word, and it's basically can mean great, awesome, amazing, wonderful, fantastic, superb, out of this world, breathtaking.
So
Lekker.
I'm literally 100% wrong.
Lekker comes from Afrikaans, my mother tongue. You'll hear it everywhere. And you'll be like, maybe you go to the beach. Oh, I had a lekker day. Or you go to a party. Oh, that was a lekker party. Now, this one is got two sides. Now, just now.
Now, and just now. Okay.
So we have now, which we all know in English. Now is sometime soon. Could be between 30 or 60 minutes from the time of speaking. That would be now. We have a beautiful thing called African time. Time is a very flexible concept. So now, as I said, could be a range. 30 to 60 minutes, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. Just now is in fact in the nearish future. Roughly maybe between the next 1 to 3 hours, but perhaps might not even happen.
In American English, just now would mean
Exactly.
something that already happened.
Exactly, like I had an accident just now.
Yeah, like 2 minutes ago.
Just now in South Africa would mean something happening in the future. Next one, robots.
Robot, let's just say someone who does not express much emotion. That's definitely wrong, but...
Well, lo and behold, if you asked me for directions in South Africa and I said to you, you need to take a left.
Oh, I got it. It's a traffic light.
Traffic light, indeed. We call it a robot. Don't
have a
ask
lot
me
of-
why. You're not going to see some cyborg walking around the streets of Cape Town. You're just going to see a traffic light. Okay, the next one. Circle.
I'm going to say it's like a traffic circle when you drive around.
Good. Another
that
traffic
right?
term, a roundabout. So take a right at the circle. All right, now we get to some of the other good ones. And these ones come from other languages. So the next one is braai.
Braai.
And you kind of have to roll that R. Braai.
I'll take care of you. I'll get you. But it sounds evil. Braai.
It's a lot of fun. It's what we call a barbecue.
I guess barbecue for a different word.
You did. Now, braai is a word we borrowed from Afrikaans, and the one we use that we borrow from Zulu is shisha nyama. That's the Zulu word for it. So sometimes people say like, oh, let's have a braai, or they'll say, oh, let's have a shisha nyama. Now, you have to remember that the braai here is a completely different, or our barbecue, braai, is very different from what you would experience in the USA. We will never braai with gas. That was against religion. It would
Wood?
have to be
Has to be
wood-fired. It is a ritual. You invite people over, you make a huge fire, you wait for it to burn down to make the coals, and there would be an obscene amount of meat, ranging from lamb to game to chicken, whatever you want. And what's also famous called, we love to braai, boerewors, which
That's a
is
sausage of some.
it's a type of sausage. It's a farmer sausage if you directly translate it, and it is delicious.
I noticed you use the word game to describe a kind of meat. Could you explain that
Yes.
term to our
So
viewers?
game would be any meat that is like an antelope, like a type of antelope. So it would be wild.
Wild.
It would not be a, I don't want to say domesticated animal, but a farmed animal. You know, it's
Right.
not part of agriculture. You would have to go hunt the animal. So we have obviously many different types of antelope in the southern part of Africa. And there's things like kudu, springbok, oryx, and game would fall in that category. So the meat would come from a wild animal. The last one, let's see, biltong.
Biltong. Oh, I feel like I know this. Is it a food of some kind?
Yes,
No.
it is.
It is a food.
It is
Hold
a type
on,
of food.
Hold on. I'm going to say it's like a dried meat.
Exactly. It's what you
Yes.
would know. Woohoo! Good
Jerky.
job. It's what you would know as jerky. So
Oh.
basically, spiced, cured, dehydrated. We love this. We live for it. It's like the ultimate snack. We have it at sports matches. When I go home, when I land at the airport, the first thing I do is walk to the first biltong shop and buy myself some biltong, because then I've spent months not eating it. And it's not like jerky. It's completely different. We are super passionate about our biltong.
Okay, that's
All right.
awesome. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
I really, again, love South African English. Now, I should also say, if people are interested in taking your class, you do not have a strong South African accent. You have a
I
more
do
of a
not.
standard accent.
I think my accent has sort of petered out because I've traveled the world and lived in other places, and I've had Australian friends and British friends and American friends, and somehow I've picked up little bits from everywhere. So yes, my accent is very neutral.
All right. So, Leah, thank you so much. You'll be back every Friday this month of August to tell us a
Absolutely.
little bit more about South Africa and where we should visit when this pandemic ends and we're allowed to travel again. Okay?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much.
Bye.